Magandang umaga po. Ito ay nabuo ko lang sulat na ito para ipaabot ko lang sana kay Biblog ko lang para ipaabot ko kay Attorney Kaufman. Para naman tingnan niyo mga aspeto sa batas. Batas lang po pinag-usapan natin dito. Hindi tayo nag-uusap dito kung sino guilty o sino hindi. So, checking ko kung may sounds ako ha. Hello? Hello? Meron. Meron tayong sounds. So ngayon, mga kababayan ko, wag nyo akong pagalitan kung pabor kay Duterte itong sinusulat ko. In the interest of intellect lang ito. In the interest of the search for the settlement of what should be the law. In the interest of jurisprudence na makatulong tayo sa ICC para someday mayroon na sila magamit ng batas. Kasi ang pagdesisyon po, with due respect to all, including Attorney Conte, including Attorney Joel Butoyan, Attorney Gabriel Andres, including Attorney Karim Khan, Attorney lahat ng prosecutor. Ang akin naman sabi, I am speaking this for the consumption of the intelligence and justice of mankind. This is not for me. This is not for Duterte. Anyway, pwede pa man kasi po mag-apila sa appeals chamber si Digong Duterte. So I'm exhorting Attorney Nicholas Kaufman to make a timely appeal to the appeals chamber because I am so certain that you will win your appeal to argue that there is no more right for the ICC to try and adjudge against or in favor of Duterte, depending on the amount of evidence that may be introduced against him. Okay, let us start. Ito po, ay na-develop ko lang po. In-examine ko ang batas. I analyzed the law. And in my own analysis, it shows po na talagang wala ng jurisdiction ang ICC sa kaso ng Pilipinas at iba pang kaso ni Duterte at siyempre iba pang mga tao na pwedeng maaring kakasuhan nila. So, just to give you an idea, I will share in my, pwede ka mag-screenshot, in my live, the letter I wrote, and I intended this to be sent to Attorney Nicholas Kaufman. Hindi ko alam, I do not know the number of Nicholas Kaufman, but I do believe somebody who knows him may find or may have read this post and would give Attorney Kaufman a copy. Maybe he could consider this. Okay? So let us start. Ang conclusion ko po rito ay wala na talagang jurisdiction ang ICC. At kaya dahil nagdesisyon ng ICC Pretrial Chamber, pwede pang mag-apila si Digong Duterte doon sa Appeals Chamber. At naniniwala naman ako, napakatindi ng paniwala ko na mananalo si Digong Duterte sa Appeals Chamber. Mga dahilan kung bakit. Una, yung aking argumento napakasulit. Na kung gagamitin lamang ito ni Atty. Kaufman, napakasulit. Pangalawa, nung una na umapila ang Pilipinas sa Appeals Chamber, dalawa roon na mga judge nagsabi na wala ng jurisdiction ang ICC sa Pilipinas. Therefore, wala na rin silang jurisdiction kay Digong Duterte, kay Bato, at sino pa sa Pilipinas. So, let us start the ball rolling. Ganito po yun. And nagsabi ko kay Attorney Kaufman, no, kaya I'm requesting Albin on tourism. My letter to Attorney Kaufman. So Alvin, pakibigay mo ito kay Attorney Kaufman. So sabi ko nga lang dito, Dear all, I am Toto Kausing. My YouTube channel is Dr. Toto Kausing. I request that you send to Attorney Nicholas Kaufman this message consisting of my suggested arguments to be possibly considered to be included in the appeal that he will file at the appeal chamber on the issue of jurisdiction. I write this in the interest of compelling justice. Here are my points why ICC has no more jurisdiction over the Philippine situation and no jurisdiction exists as well over the person of Duterte and over the subject matter of the cases called crime against humanity. Number one, Attorney Kaufman must appeal the decision of the pretrial chamber to the appeals chamber. Number two, it is the principle of law, including criminal procedures all over the world as well as in the Rome Statute, the power to try and adjudge cases in the situation of the Philippines and of Mr. Rodrigo Rua Duterte, or simply called jurisdiction, can only be given or vested by a law. Number three, the next principle of law, particularly in criminal law, is that any doubt as to how to interpret doubts in laws is resolved in favor of the accused. We call this in Latin in dubio pro reo. The third principle of criminal law states that any law that gives or vests power to hear and decide must be explicit and express in granting that power. Number five, at the present stage of the cases against Duterte, there is a big doubt whether the ICC still has jurisdiction over the case. Number six, due to the doubt in the law, the ICC is obliged to dismiss the cases against Digong. Number seven, while this doubt exists, there is also no law in the Rome Statute or elsewhere that vests or grants the ICC the power to hear and decide the cases of Duterte under the present circumstances. Number eight, now, why do I say there is doubt whether the ICC still has the power to hear and decide on the cases of Duterte? Number nine, first, the finality of the withdrawal of the Republic of the Philippines occurred on 16 March 2019 because the notice to withdraw from the Rome Statute was filed on 17 March 2018 at the Secretary General of the United Nations. Number 10, after the date of 17 March 2019 up to the present, the Philippines has never been a member anymore of the Rome Statute or the ICC. Number 11, based on Article 1 to 7 of the Rome Statute, the conditions of the withdrawal says the following four conditions. A, that the withdrawal notice filed on 17 March 2018 shall take start to be effective on 17 March 2019. B, that the Philippines should pay whatever financial obligations that were incurred during the period that the Philippines was a party to the ICC until such time when the withdrawal took effect on 17 March 2019. C, that the Philippines' obligation to the ICC shall continue on the cooperations or agreements entered into by the Philippines and the ICC. And D, that there has been any matter under consideration by the court before the withdrawal of the Philippines became effective. So those are the four conditions, whether or not that it will apply on the circumstances after the withdrawal becomes effective. Okay, number 12. The withdrawal became effective on 17 March 2019. 13, because the vesting or giving of power cannot be presumed, but must be done explicitly and expressly. The phrase any matter, stated in condition number 4, stated in Article 1 to 7, can only include any matter that explicitly or expressly vests the power to hear and decide the cases of Duterte or any person from the Philippines in relation to the crimes that occurred during the period of November 1, 2011 up to 16 March 2019. Number 14, there is no dispute that preliminary examination is included in the term any matter, referred to as the fourth condition in Article 1 to 7 of the Rome Statute. Number 15, because the vesting of power must be explicit and expressed as a principle that cannot be bent, we must examine this preliminary examination to see if there is anything there that can be considered as a law that vests in the ICC the power to try and decide the cases against Duterte or any person in the Philippines, even after the Philippines withdrawal is final. Number 16, what is stated in the preliminary examination was that the Office of the Prosecutor declared it will examine any information or communication that may be relevant into the Philippine situation that may warrant the application for authorization to investigate into any case that the OTP may determine to be investigated for the purpose of knowing whether to apply for the said authorization. Number 17, there is no law vesting jurisdiction to authorize the investigation that can be found in the said decree of Prosecutor Fatou Bensouda. Number 18, Bensouda did not cite any law that can vest power unto the ICC even after the finality of the withdrawal to try and decide the cases of Duterte if ever the OTP is able to file the request for authorization only after the finality of the withdrawal. Number 19, at best, the only power that may be exercised is a power to examine and not a power to investigate. And the power to examine does not include the power to investigate. To insist otherwise gives doubt whether power to investigate was vested. Number 20, hence, looking at Article 1 to 7 alone, it is very clear that the ICC has no more authority to investigate. 21. Now, Article 12, Paragraph 2, and Article 13 combined together decrees that an investigation into the situation of the state can be exercised only if the state concerned is still a member of the Rome Statute or the ICC. Number 22, to think otherwise, Article 12 and Article 13 are doubtful to expressly say that the ICC can still authorize an investigation and consequently hear and decide the case when the withdrawal is already final. Yun lamang po ang aking masasabi. So, itong mga nagtatanong sa akin, palaliman niyo po ang isip niyo bakit ako sumulat nito. Okay? So, ganun lamang po aking masasabi. At, hindi na ako magsasabi. So, kung ano, at ito na lang at magandang umaga na lang po sa inyong lahat. Bahala kayo kung paano nyo po yan ipagbasahin at alaman, pag-isipan na malalim. It's up to you. It is for the public consumption. It will increase your knowledge in law and the principles in law, and it will to increase your education with respect to how lawyers should argue and analyze the laws and the circumstances that are present. Okay, maraming salamat po. Salamat, Dr. Toto. Sana makarating kay Attorney Kaufman ang letter mo yan para makatulong kay Tatay Digong. God bless po. Raymond de Ribocas, malaki ang chance makauwi si Digong. So, bahala na kayo kung anong inyong conclusion. But ako po ay, ako dito, neither anti-Digong, neither pro-Digong. I am only pro-law kung what is the law, what does the law say. Because the law is the king. Sabi nga lang, Dora Lex, sed Lex. The law may be harsh, but it is the law. And we should follow the law. Ganon lamang po. Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat.